chairman of the House Education and Workforce Committee, Michigan Congressman Tim Walberg. So good morning, Congressman. Now that we've got Secretary McMahon confirmed, the work can finally begin to close down the department that she runs. It just sounds so easy, correct?
Oh, it sounds easy, but it's it'll be a challenge, but it's worth doing. And I'm so delighted to finally have a Secretary of Education that I can work with. And we have a lot to do. And President Trump, even as recently as last night, made some significant statements about some things relative to education, especially higher education. So I think we're going to be on a roll now, and it's going to be challenging work, but it's work, I believe, that's most important work to be done for this country, making sure there's solid education experience to develop a workforce that can meet the needs of the developing world.
And I think what you're alluding to about President Trump, him announcing yesterday that they're going to review Columbia University's federal contracts and grants over allegations of anti-Semitism. I know that President Trump also announced just this morning more on that, saying these protesters would be imprisoned or sent back to their country. McMahon was asked about cracking down on anti-Semitism on college campuses during her Senate confirmation hearing. Take a listen to what she had to say about it.
Will you enforce the law, Title VI to the hilt, and will you make sure that Jewish Americans are safe on our campuses, for heaven's sake, and these crazy students who are committing crimes, breaking windows, smashing into buildings, trapping Jewish students in libraries, will you make sure that this stops on our college campuses that are getting all of this federal tax money?
Absolutely, or face defunding of their monies.
And here we are on the same day McMahon gets confirmed. We're already seeing the first university under investigation. What does it tell you about how serious this administration is on cracking down on this issue?
Well, it not only tells me that the administration is serious, and now the new Secretary of Education coincides with all of that, but we are going after it. We're not just talking about it. And I've been talking with college presidents, university presidents in recent weeks about the concern that students are bringing to me. Tonight we'll have a Columbia University student sitting in my guest seat for the State of the Union address to really point to the fact that this isn't something that we're walking away from. What was done in the House Education and Workforce Committee last year under the previous chairman, Representative Fox, was solid, and I think it pointed to the cancer that's within our universities that's indoctrinating our students against Judaism, but also against America. That has to stop, and strong action has to be taken. And these students who think they're doing something important to destroy America need to be taken under control.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I recall that our early founding fathers, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, were some of the biggest supporters and innovators in the world of public education being a state issue. We've now got a new Secretary of Education. Hearing rumblings, we might get a big announcement from the president tonight on education. Have you heard anything about that? And what do you want to hear the president say tonight during the address to joint session?
Well, I want to hear him say everything he's been saying so far. And now the stepping up and saying to all the universities, all of the colleges out there, if you allow these type of demonstrations to go on, we are going to go after the students and the perpetrators of what's taking place. And some of these people are brought in from outside the university. We get that. But it has to hit the university itself. And the funding is the key way to do that. If you want to allow this to carry on, then you're going to lose your federal funding. I think that should wake them up. And that's what the president was saying. He's been saying common sense, law and order, America first. And I have a hat in my office that former Secretary Betsy DeVos gave me that says, make education great. We have to do that or this country doesn't survive. There's a quote from the Northwest Ordinance that I use often. And that was at the beginning of the growth of our country, even before Michigan was a state, and it said religion, morality, knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. We've seen discouragement take place on our campuses of true education, morality, and knowledge, and that has to change.
All right. Congressman, always great having you with us. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you.
Information. Truth is freedom. is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.